So, can you help me pronounce your name? Is it Vumani or?
Daben Sinclair is my name. Vuman is my surname.
Okay, Daben Sinclair, right? Did I say it right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
My name is Alion. Nice to meet you, Daben Sinclair. All right, so we can get started here. Um, and then as people coming in, we'll just catch them up as much as we can. This should be relatively short because we'll have space open for discussion and reviews. And here we are. Welcome, Peter. We have
Hi there.
Daben Sinclair with us from South Africa. And yeah, today we're doing Unit 5, last unit before we go into the exams and start this official MBA program, hopefully, knock on wood. So yeah, Unit 5, 21st Century Strategy. Did anyone open that session or that unit
I,
take a look at it? Sorry?
I did not open anything there.
Or watch
Not
the
yet.
I
videos
didn't have time to do it.
from Sailor Academy for it?
Nothing. This
No?
week I was really occupied with
Yeah.
something else.
All good. All good, all good. I did maybe twice. So once when I first, like towards the beginning of the year, and then one recently just to be able to do this. It looks like it's a sort of reviews and more in depth of some of the units. But hopefully this will give you a nice introduction so that once you get into it as well, it won't be as confusing as I had to to go through. So two main things I'll be talking about is the strategy management techniques that they talk about in this unit. Um, there's about 25 pages in that unit alone. So 25 pages. That's including the review lessons as well, like the additional readings. So it was quite a bit. So I'm just doing a bit of a summary. As far as objectives and so unit objectives and course objectives, they are included in here, but I would recommend you take a look at also the actual course outline so that you can answer these questions. So I don't have a quiz, a pre, a post quiz on this one either, because I'm kind of relying on what we'll be able to discuss at the end of this. So let's get started. The first things, when we were talking about 21st century 21st century, oh, sorry, 21st century strategies are two types of management styles. There's the old style and the newer style. Which one? Who wants to guess the what the old style of management is?
Probably that.
The X, yeah. So this is a nice illustration of it because it just it portrays it really well. The X way of managing is more like micro management, putting the staff people down, as opposed to the Y style of management, so theory Y, where the staff are encouraged and brought up, right? So this is the definition if you want to go in depth. But yeah, if when you think of a boss or a manager that you had that was really micromanaging, punishing, kind of old school. If you want to characterize their management style or strategy, is you use the McGregor's theory X strategy to characterize it. And if they're cool and they encourage you, and if you once you get to that position, or if you're already in that position, then ideally you want to use the Y method versus the X method. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I think we understand that, right? Any questions on this side? Any managers here? Did you manage a group of people
Yes,
in
I
your
did.
career? And have you found yourself in the X style or the Y style, or maybe a
But
little bit of both?
depending actually of the structure
Mm,
of organization. So when you are more in divisional structure, or when you are more in the functional structure, then you have to implement some kind of theory X. you
Oh,
know. But you are working, you know, you're trying to be flexible depending on the task. When something is urgent and there is no, you know, points to escape it, then you have to use the theory X. But you pretend to be more on theory. You
yeah.
you know
Okay.
you cannot have in management. You cannot have one strategy that you can follow up because you're managing people and people are not the same. We
Yeah.
have different kind of people, different mindsets, and you have to use the. Sometimes people do not like theory, you because people sometimes preferring to have tech X because why
Yeah.
I'm telling you that
Yeah. Yeah.
you have people who want strict order to know what they want to do and they do not want to think about anything else. You can, especially in operation,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
you get the point. And if you give them
100%.
some autonomy, they're not going to be able to function in autonomy. They want
100%.
strictly, you know, to have goals, what to do from A to Z, and to be that path clear to them. They probably do not want to develop in career. They want just to be in that position where they are from 9 to 5, and that's it. And there's the character
Security.
you cannot, yes,
Yeah.
security. And
Yeah.
there's the character of the person you cannot impact their mindset.
Yeah. So I guess in some cases the theory X would be helpful. So not to completely disregard them, right, Peter?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
This is by my opinion.
yeah, no, I totally agree. I've been also in cases where, okay, so for me personally, ideally, I always default to the the theory Y, this cell, just because running my own agency, I have so much to do that if I had to micromanage people, then I would go crazy and I would drive others
Yeah, but
crazy.
by agency is more matrix functional style, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know,
You
I know.
don't have like a function. It's more
Yeah,
matrix style, and then you have people and you have sources, and there is not like I'm the boss all the time. Everybody's here working in some kind of collaborative environment, right?
yeah, exactly.
So that's
But
the different thing.
I did see some people in my group across time that just wanted, okay, boss, just tell me what to do. I'll do it. That's it. There's no, don't try to encourage me, blah, blah, blah. I'll just do it. That's it. And leave me alone. You know, I've come across these types of people.
Yes.
And nothing wrong with it. Actually, some of them are just perfect like that because you don't
And-
require much.
But as a manager, you need to manage both of them. You cannot be
Yeah, yeah.
just on one side. You know,
Yeah,
have
you need to be
flexible.
flexible. Exactly. So that's for me in my experience. What about you, Nande Zile? Can you help me pronounce it again?
That,
Nande
that's Ndabezinhle. Ndabezinhle.
Davezinche. Okay, Davez. Sorry, it's a bit tough. Okay. Oh, so what about you? Any experience with the X or the Y theory of management? Maybe you were
Um,
managing people, or you were the boss, or you were boss.
in my experience, okay, I will look at my boss. He's old school. He's using the X type. It
Yeah.
stifles production. So that one, it used to work long back, but nowadays we are looking at people who are going to be innovative, the freedom to innovate, the freedom to, to be flexible within the company.
Hmm.
So if we're going to look back on theory X, it's a foreman type of management style. I say it's a foreman type. It's all about people sweating. So when you sweat, your mind is not is
Yeah.
not that productive. But when now you are working in an environment where you are allowed to plan to work around your actual area of performance,
Hmm.
you can actually grow without anyone breathing on your neck. But the problem is when you get people who are not trained, then you might
Yeah.
have problems. So we need to look at, if we're going to adopt that, you need to look back how you outsource your talent, how you
Yeah.
develop your talent, how you engage them as you go on.
Yeah. You're so right. So training and talent skill set is also important when you're doing this. Yeah. So if we had to summarize, I take back what I said initially because I'm obviously biased. I said we should all tend to theory Y, but no, it's actually it depends, and it's a balance between these two because the more flexible you are, the longer you'll last, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one way in the book. Okay, so I always refer as the book, but it's really like the lessons from Sailor Academy. There's another theory, Theory Z, comes from Japan. I forget the name, but it's more for high performing teams. So it's like Y, but leveled up. So have fun checking that out. If we have some time, I'll just show you some of the slides that I found about it too. But yeah, so there's X, Y, and there's Z as well. And I'm sure this is not the only way of management, but these are the ones that I found from the course lessons. So just a bit of a side note for you here. So now the book also continues on and talks about international trade theory. And if we just had to look back a little bit quickly about on Unit 4, some growth strategies. So this is another growth strategy, going international. So let's say your company makes wine. So you can sell your wine locally, or if you want to grow even more, after doing all your research, of course, going international would be another option. And so there are two paths. Oh, I mean, I think if you mute your mic, it would help because there's a bit of background noise. And then each time you talk, you could just unmute. Okay, perfect. So yeah, there's two paths you can take. You can take the old way, the classical country-based theories, or you can take the more modern one, right? Because this whole unit is about the 21st century strategies. So the book actually explains every one of them in detail in the further reading section. In the YouTube videos from Sailor and also the main course outline, I think it's only talking about the diamond model, so Porter National Competitive Advantage. I did not go into depth on mercantilism or Hochner Olin or any of those actually, but I do know the absolute advantage and comparative advantage. Anybody familiar with these country-based theories? I can explain absolute, comparative, and then this I have it on the next slide. But anybody knows about any of those? You're muted, Peter or Da Vinci. Oh,
Very
did I
cool.
mute? Okay, try.
Hello, you hear me now?
Yeah.
Product life cycle, is that the one what we learned from
Product
Pontus?
life cycle.
Yes. When where is stagnation, rising of the company, right? Is that one? Yeah.
I'm not sure. Are you referring maybe to the value chain, maybe?
No, product life cycle. It means like I have somewhere here. I just that it was in one lesson. I think it's in lesson 3 or 4.
Product life cycle.
Yes. When you're opening the company, then you have a growth, then you have a moment of stagnation, and then you have a fall.
No. Okay, I
You
don't
don't know.
know.
Yeah, that's yeah, I think in lesson in unit 3 or 4. I already take a notes. Let me just open Asana to see what I think.
So, product life cycle theory by Raymond Vernon,
Yes.
Harvard business guy.
Do you know something about that? Yeah.
So, new product, maturing product, standardized production product.
Yes.
Okay, we can look at it later.
Later.
I'll quickly explain absolute advantage and then comparative advantage. So when you're doing, okay, so we stay with the wine bottles, the wine company. So if the cost of you producing wine is so affordable compared to other countries that produce wine, and from like the start to finish, like in their value chain, then you have an absolute advantage if that's what you do. If what you do is cost efficient, and you exporting it is also cost efficient, then you have an absolute advantage. You should focus on that. I think Porter talks about it as well. Comparative advantage, on the other hand, is you can produce wines, you can produce, you can export wine, you can export apples, export furniture, and each of them have their own different costs. But the the cost of you importing the furniture, for example, versus you producing the furniture, importing is cheaper. Then you should focus on what you're good at. So instead of producing the furniture, you just produce two. So that's how you keep your comparative advantage.
I
Does
just
that make
produce.
sense?
What did you say? Instead of producing furniture, I produce.
You import the furniture.
I
So
import the furniture
yeah,
instead.
you
If I see the cost is better to import, then
exactly.
euros I will import the furniture.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you look at the import cost, export cost,
Yeah.
and then based on these two things, you go with whatever is cost effective to keep a comparative advantage because you're comparing it. Make
Hmm.
sense?
Yeah.
So these are the two things that I know for me. But then we can go to what the book talks about, Porter National Competitive Advantage. It's called the Diamond Model. And so you're looking at four things. So you look at the local firm characteristics. So, if it's healthy, if it's efficient, and how competitive it is. And we did some Porter Five Forces competitive analysis, so we know what to look for this. You look at the market demand. If it makes sense, should we export this or import this? What's the demand going to be like? You look at the supplier and complementary industries. So, when you're exporting or producing goods, obviously you're working with the supply chain. So you're going to look at the suppliers and anything that's going to be added to your value chain and what the cost is going to be like, if it's strong or not. So that's on this side here. Then you have the market resources. These sorts of so like skill set, your labor, what does it say? Yeah, and okay, and the competitive advantage that you have for these types of resources or activities that you're going to be making. And then based on that, you can do a matrix if you want, and scoring system. If it makes sense, you can go for it. So that's what you would do if you were to apply the Porter National Competitive Advantage theory to your activities. Make sense so far? Any
Is
questions?
that, just to ask, is that a tool how you're gonna evaluate? Do you need to import or to produce?
Say that again. Is that true?
Is that a tool that you are
Ah,
using
yep.
when
It's
you are measuring? Should you import the things or to product? Right?
yes. To if you want to grow, should we grow internationally or not? Yes.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So not necessarily importing, but more like international growth strategy.
Yeah, but I was asking, is that a tool what you just presented right now
Yeah.
to evaluate should we product these products from our own or should we maybe look from other supplier across and import that particular furniture?
Good question. Let me double check that. I want to say yes, but let me see. Actually,
Because I'm looking from perspective now that I'm the owner of the company who is selling the. I'm IKEA, and now I want to see if I wanna make production here in the country, or I want to, import from China. What is better for me?
Exactly. Yeah. What makes sense? And then you look at that.
And then we look at labor cost. I will look with taxation, with licensing here, and everything. And on another side, I will have import taxes and everything, and then I will make my P&L on that.
So to answer your question, this is Porter's theory to characterize how competitive you are in the international space. I'll read what it says. So Porter's theory stated that a nation's competitiveness is in an industry depends on the capacity of the industry to innovate and upgrade. So essentially, if you answer those questions, it should tell you how strong you are when it comes to innovating and upgrading, so growing, basically. To explain his theory, Porter identified 4 determinants that he linked together. The 4 determinants are the diamond model. So I'm just seeing, in addition to the 4 determinants, Porter had also noted that the government, chance, and chance play a part. Offer an okay, so yeah, it offers an interesting interpretation and of international trade trends. They remain relatively new. So these are so to answer your question, are we going to export or import a product or not? I would say no to this, but this is just, how you're doing the SWOT, PESTEL, see how strong you are to this. It's a component to help you decide, but it's not the only thing.
I ask you, is that a tool that you can, like, you measure what is the market right now and what's your best strategy if you're entering in a new market right now, right? So if I'm in a new country right now with a furniture department, with furniture company, and now I'm evaluating, should I try to make some kind of partnership with the local companies who are producing the furniture, or maybe should I go and take my options from China to see if it's better that way? So you get my point. What I wanna
100%. Yes, 100%. I love this question because this actually makes me want to look into the because that question sounds more like evaluating whether you will have a comparative advantage for importing versus exporting.
Yes.
So
the name of the tool. What is the calling that tool?
The one Porter Diamond Model or Porter National.
Porter National Competitive Advantage Theory. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So the tool for the competitive advantage theory. Yeah.
Yep. Actually, let me just do one thing here, because we have time, and this is a good question that I also would like to know. So I'm just looking at my review notes, right? The review lessons, the more in-depth ones. You can see my screen, right? Yeah. Okay.
That's good.
So let me just wait till that loads. Oh. View. Okay, there we go. So Unit 5. Okay. So in Unit 5, it has all the additional reading, and so okay, so comparative advantage. Here we go.
Comparative advantage.
Just make it bigger here. So when a country cannot produce more efficiently than the other country, so it makes more sense to import than to export.
When they don't have a tools and resources. I get you.
Yeah. So that's comparative advantage. Absolute advantage. Okay, so Adam Smith, another of our friends. Trade should flow naturally according to the market forces. So if country A produces a goods cheaper or faster than country B, then country A has an advantage and could focus on specializing on what they're good at. That's why they have an absolute advantage.
Hmm.
So I didn't mention that you compare two countries, but essentially, if the cost of you producing a good as opposed to another country, like country A, country B produces furniture,
Yes.
country B, the cost ends up being, just minimizing everything, $100, but country A ends up being $50. Country A has a absolute advantage over country B.
Hmm.
That's the absolute advantage. But these are the old way, the classical country-based theories, right? We're in the 21st century. We have country similarity, product life cycle. Okay, so let's take a look at the product life cycle, and then we have global strategy rivalry and the diamond model.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah.
so product life cycle. There's no graph, but this is what it says. So these are the steps. So the theory originated from the field of marketing. So that's my field, but I should have known. So new product, and then it matures, then it becomes the standard product. So it assumes that the production of the product will occur completely in the home country, and it's innovation. Yeah. PC, okay. Personal computer went through a product cycle. Okay. Da, da, da.
Okay, maturing a new product. This is the theory what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Life cycle theory.
Product life cycle. Yeah. So all of those are in there in the review lessons, but it's also in the Sailor Academy lessons. It's just that I copied everything and then organized it in such a way that when you click on things, they show up here. So yeah, and I'll just put this here. And this is the main lesson of Unit 5, essentially. That has all the, I just put it all together, all the 24 pages. But anyways, we can carry on, and then we'll have time for discussion, anyways, because today is pretty open. So we left at the Porter Diamond model. So this character just tells us, okay, how competitive are we in this modern day?
Yeah.
We look at those four things. Now, this is international growth theory, right? Now, there's another thing that is even more relevant, super urgent for us, future leaders, managers, or even current leaders, managers, is the topic of innovation. How do you innovate? What's the best way to innovate? What framework can we use? And there's just like there's a theory for everything, there's a theory for that as well. So there's a theory called the diffusion of innovation. I think his name is Mr. something Rogers. Yeah, Everett Rogers. He came up with this quite a while ago, but all these people were ahead of their time, it seems like. But he talks about four elements in the diffusion of innovation. When a new product or service comes up, there's four things that you want to look for to be able to characterize it. One is, okay, how the idea of the innovation. The communication channel is the second one. The time it takes, or the period, and the social systems. So how it goes through different channels. And so these are the elements that characterize a diffusion of innovation. In a graph, this is what it looks like. The blue line is the people that, well, basically the consumers that are going to buy or use your product or service. And the yellow line is the market share. So there's four, I think five. We learned that in marketing too. So there's four, one, two, three, so five group of people that you can market to whenever you're launching a product. I'm trying to apply this to a restaurant, for example. I think for restaurants, it would still apply. Just like so I'll explain each step. So the innovators are always, no matter what, they are going to be the first one to try buy your product. They just want to be in like always the first, the future. These are the types of people that stand in line at 2 a.m. when the new iPhone is going to come out. No, actually, even as far back as you know if they can get the iPhone before it comes out, these are the innovators types of
Okay,
people.
the one who wants to purchase it in advance.
Exactly. Yeah. The early adopters are also like that, but obviously after the innovators. But they are willing and ready to pay even the premium just for being first in there. Then you have the two types of majority, like the, I guess, normal kinds of people that adopt early and those that adopt late. And then the final ones, the like bye bye guys, like the laggards. They call them the laggards. So you have the early majority, late majority, and these are, it's like in the normal, like, when you, this is a bell curve, and essentially from here to here, it's 50%. So it's also equal to this much and this much. So you have the first part, early majority, and then the other part, the late majority. But the laggards, really, it's as it says, 16% of people. Uh, they're like the late to the game types of people. Do you? Where would you identify yourself? Where would you place yourself on this curve?
Something in the middle, maybe.
Yeah, like obviously in a majority, early or late.
Depending, actually, I'm not the one who, depending of what I need in the
Yeah,
current time. If
yeah, makes
it's
sense.
the computer that has some feature that I need to do something to achieve, then probably I will take it. But if I don't need, just to have, I'm not that kind type of person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Makes sense.
Maybe when I was young, I was there to have everything, to buy the car, the new one, to have it.
Yeah, yeah.
But right
Well,
now,
for the phone,
I don't feel it.
yeah. Okay, so that means you also understand the concepts, right? And also, last thing I can say is, by the time the late majority starts to join in, the market share is already at 50%, and then after they're going to purchase and everything, the market share hits its maximum at 100%. And so when the market share is at 100%, there's nobody else left to buy, right? So
Yeah.
um, so that's the diffusion of innovation. That's how
Then
innovation goes.
they start a new model after that.
Yeah, a new model, and that's how they make money and keep you in the loop. Uh,
Yes.
an example I can use for this is when AI, the whole AI thing started. Um, as far as I'm concerned, I was in between here. Actually, I like to think of myself that well, I didn't produce any, write any AI code or anything, but I was really before like the masses heard about it and everything, because I was already using it and starting to apply it for my business and slowly replacing some mundane tasks and unfortunately some staff members, because AI was going there. Like I know for a fact the copywriter was the first one that had to leave because it was just more comparatively advantageous to outsource to AI than to someone. So yeah, I was in this part, and yeah, the market share wasn't so big right now as it is right now. But I was at this part when AI happened. So, anyways, this is what the diffusion of innovation theory is. Something to keep in mind because you want to know where you are when you're launching a product or which industry you're in will tell you, oh, what's the market share like, right? So now this is the pipeline. This is the old way of thinking. Usually people do the research, then they come up with a business model after the research, they develop the product, they launch it, and then make money. That's the old way, but not anymore. Now everything is interconnected. You have to be flexible, and there's four things, four models or ways of thinking that are involved in this. This I got it from the book. Do you recognize anything on there? Maybe this.
I cannot see you from here. I'm on the phone.
Okay, yeah, it's a bit small. But so there's four main things in here, and it's the design thinking, the lean startup. This is the business model canvas. We can go into it later. We have some time, and the last part is agile. I think you're very familiar. You're an expert in agile. So these are the ways nowadays that the frameworks you want to take, or at least the frameworks that are used in the 21st century uh, for strategy or strategic management, because it's dynamic. It's not step by step, sequential. It involves different moving pieces, and based on one reaction, one action, there's another reaction, and then you have to adapt accordingly, right? So in here, I can quickly touch. Uh, so this is the lean startup model. I'm not too familiar with this, but in the lean startup, essentially, you launch a product at its minimum. So lean basically means
It's a
lean.
Japanese model, lean model. Yeah.
Yeah, leans. So it means it's not fat. It's lean.
Yeah.
So your minimum viable product, essentially, without any extra or whatever, you just want to make it work, and then based on the prototype that you got, then you go ahead and expand. But this shortens the or product launch time frame, because it makes things more efficient that way. And the way it's explained here is because so here you're always going to innovate. So lean, what does it say here? Okay, I don't know what it says, but I guess we'll have to take a look at the notes in here. So the business model canvas, we can talk about it. Essentially, it's all sets of questions. So all over here, these are questions that pertain to your business. Actually, let me just bring a better one, because that's the last slide. Actually, do I explain it here? Yeah. Okay, so let's get business model canvas. I hope it's big enough.
Yeah. Are you using Google? What is this called? Teams or what? What we are talking right now on computer app, or you are just going in the browser?
This is the browser.
Are you going in browser? You don't have app. Yeah?
No. It's the browser. Yeah. Okay. Can I make this bigger?
I cannot install my computer.
No. Let me find a good template. Okay, much better. So this, if you answer all this, then you have your business model to the T. So it's going to ask you, what are your key partners? People that are involved in the product or service that you're building, the partners. What are your activities? So let's say we apply this to a restaurant or a marketing agency. The key partners, essentially, it's you, the other owners, if they are, any partners that you have, activities that you do in the business, so like cooking, delivering, whatever, all these activities. The value proposition, very important, probably why it's in the middle. Why should they go to you versus somebody else? That's what the value proposition is. Customer relationship, think about maybe CRM. How are you interacting with them? Maybe surveys, things like that. Customer segments, I think we talked about that before. You have your market, and then you have segments of your market. Essentially, a customer segment could be maybe like the early adopters, innovators, late majority, early majority, could be local customer, local market, international market. Essentially, you have to take a big market or a big customer, or we can call it also audience, and then you cut it up into pieces. Like, who is your target market, for example? I think, based from memory, I think it was the local people in the city, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so
And
that would be,
no, actually, the people who came from Ukraine and Russia, we target them, expats,
yeah.
who
So expats,
are better income.
yeah. So that's where you would put them. So you
Yeah,
list them up, and then you
yeah,
can also even add age group, uh, like demographic information. These are also segments, income level, etc. The more, the better, because you can highly target this cost structure. So this is more like money style, and then you have the revenue streams, essentially. So that's the business model canvas. Okay, so we have the business model canvas. So the lean startup, I can just quickly read this. Lean startup is three main things. You validate your idea in a scientific way by always iteratively. So you produce one thing, get feedback, produce a better one. Produce, get feedback, produce a better one. So iteratively process, iteratively bettering it. Yeah, and it shortens the development cycle, it measures progress. Essentially, I think it's mainly used in the programming field, but I think you can use it in like even manufacturing as well. Um, do you have an example that could use that, or do you understand the lean startup model framework? Pilar?
You ask me. Sorry. No, actually, I'm looking right now. Just want to see what is design thinking, develop customer. That's
So,
one. It's used more in IT industry. Yeah.
so lean startup, yes. Design thinking, you can apply it anywhere. It's essentially, it's really just like drawing. So develop, actually, let me just find a template. I'm sorry, I should have illustrated these things even better. To be honest, I didn't have too much time either to prepare this. So
Oh,
design thinking, MBA. So I guess you can also use the way I'm doing these types of research is I always do add MBA Harvard or MBA MIT for these things because I think they're the best at these types of programs when I'm
yeah.
doing research. So I add this part. So this is an example of design thinking. Um, the idea is having those sort of drawing or graphs to help you think. Okay, so in design thinking, focus on the word design because you know your mind is very it's like a spider web, right? It's not
Yeah.
linear. So if you start drawing things, so let's say right now the question is codifying design a thinking model. Yeah, so it's a thinking model. So you put in the major things or questions or forces you want to lay out, and then you start making connections. So that's the design thinking.
The one what I did already. What I sent you the
Yeah, yeah,
code.
yeah. Exactly. So that's design,
From
an example
yeah,
of design
I know
thinking.
that. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that.
So Harvard shows that the design thinking stages is so first you clarify, so just put everything in there, then formulate your ideas, develop, and then you start implementing. This is good also for brainstorming.
Yes,
Just
better.
bear in mind.
It's much better for me to learn like that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm more of a visual type of person as well. So yeah. So you know, all these graphs. So that's
Connect the dots. Yeah, I know.
so that's design thinking. So develop customer empathy. So the idea here is how can we be more competitive? Okay, actually, I have a slide for this, but so that's what design thinking is. Develop customer empathy for insights and ideas. Complements lean startup by focusing on ideation and design. Contextual inquiry and observing behaviors generate insights for product design. Any clarification on this? I think you're a bit confused, right?
Just about lean startup, if you can just
Yes. Oh, okay. I
define
actually love. Yeah,
clear
yeah.
more about that.
Okay. I actually love lean startup model, MBA. All right. So let's see. Yeah. So that's the same thing. Okay. So let me make this bigger. Okay. So let me explain on how actually I'm developing a product. For example, right now I'm working well, before I was working on a social media uh, posting tool. What it does, quick summary, is it's a common tool that our team would use. Me, I talk with the customer, get the customer on board, get all the information for their business. A copywriter uh, writes about content for them. A designer looks at the content and then design the images, videos, and whatnot. So we all three discuss and work together that way. So I
Okay.
had to develop a prototype first to see if it works. And the idea, we start with the idea here, like I explained it to you. Then we started building, and we have a minimum viable product. It's called MVP. It's very bare bone. It doesn't have to be flashy, super nice, or anything. It's something that just works.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, actually, I don't have images there to show. It's too far. But anyway, so we got to the product stage, right? We built the MVP product, and then we show it to a test group. You know, when they say, "Oh, we have it in beta or alpha,
Yeah. Okay.
version 0.1." So that's what. And then so we measure the usage, what people are doing. You put some KPIs and see, okay, if they don't have any complaints or anything, then it's positive. If they spend too much time, it's negative, etc., etc. So you measure, and
Mm-hmm.
then you analyze the data, and
Analyzing.
using that data, you make it better. So you learn, and then you make it better with the ideas, and then you build. And so version 1.2 comes in
Mm-hmm.
with less complexity, maybe less fields to fill, uh,
Hmm.
better design, etc. And then you do the product, you measure again, you analyze the data, you
And you get a new
formulate,
idea how to improve it.
and then 1.3 comes in.
Yeah.
So the idea here is that you always minimize anything that's superfluous. You see, marketing is not even involved at this point.
Yes.
Anything that's extra, you don't do it. So this is mostly used in IT, I believe. Even in manufacturing, you can do that too. But if I were to apply it, maybe to make it more understandable in the restaurant industry, um,
You
you
don't
have.
need a restaurant. I have experience in IT company, so I know how it
Ah,
is.
okay,
What
okay.
they're doing. It's
So
completely
maybe,
clear.
yeah. So maybe just so that you can, you know that you understand. If you had to re-explain it for a restaurant, what would it be?
For the restaurant, what will be like this?
Hmm.
Probably maybe we implementing some new dish in our menu. Then
Exactly.
when we are creating the product,
Yeah.
then we're gonna create the KPIs. What is gonna be our evaluation for that particular product? Then we're
Yeah.
gonna collect customer feedback and collect those data. Based on that data, we're gonna create and make better. Maybe to cancel this product, create something else. What they like.
That's it. And so this is before you start your restaurant,
uh,
right?
Before
Because
I
it,
start a restaurant.
yeah, because it's lean startup, right?
Yes, but how you gonna evaluate the dishes if you are not having restaurant open?
You have a test group.
You're gonna give the test group to try it. Yeah.
Yeah, you give your test group, and then once you have your idea, okay, so your product is good, then you
That,
launch.
yeah, I know.
Then you launch, right?
Then you launch the menu, so you can do some menu tasting before you're launching actually the main
E-
menu. Okay,
Exactly.
okay, I got
So that's why
you.
it says that's
That's
why
fine.
it shortens your development process. Your what is it called? It shortens your development cycles. measure progress, gathers customer feedback,
Mhm.
and
So
so
need to be the test group first involved in that.
yeah, the focus
Okay.
is to you want to be able to have enough data to validate or even um, justify why you're launching that new product or new service. Right?
I get
So
you.
that's the
Totally
focus.
get you.
Yeah.
What does
Okay.
mean now for the wallets? For these wallets, crypto wallets, they're always trying to make the test groups around.
Exactly.
Yes, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So that's the lean startup. There's actually so this is just a very summary, right? Because there's a whole field of startup. I think Six Sigma, lean startup, black belt, green belt, all these stuff. There's man, the Japanese people, I tell you, man, they were really ahead of time with their times. So yeah, that's the lean startup. Okay, so we're almost at the end here. Now we're all putting everything together. Why did we all do this? Why did we go through all 5 units? What did we get? And now we'll open the floor to discussions. But right before we start discussing, this is what strategy answers. 3 main questions. How are we creating value? How can we capture, or how will we capture value? So more like metrics. And how do we deliver value? How do we give it to them? More like timelines and everything. So that's what the strategy in in summary answers. And then after that, we do the internal, external, pestle, all the good stuff that we learn. Then once we do that, we develop a mission, uh, um, values, and then the goals and tactics, and everything flows from there. But first, you ask these 3 main questions, and that's it. That's all I got. So that's what it is, man. I want to say thank you. Actually, you showed up to all of the sessions. I think all of these sessions, right? Did you miss anyone?
Who, me?
Yeah,
I just think that I missed one.
maybe just one. Yeah. Um, but yeah, you showed up to all the sessions, so I want to thank you for showing up. It really clearly, you are committed. Definitely an active learner, and you shared so much that also I hope others were able to learn as well. I certainly did, and just me just creating all these things, even though I'm not and still not
No,
a teacher or whatever. I also learned on my own, and it kept me also consistent and kept me on my feet, always trying to prepare myself to study and everything. So out of all this, I think I'm ready to do some like tests, case studies, and everything, and then I'll take the exam sometime next week.
I
But
will
is
probably
there?
take that next week. But
Sorry.
thank you very much. I will probably take the exam also next week. But
Yeah.
thank you very much for bringing your effort and energy in this one. Really, you helped me a lot to
Yeah.
understand because I didn't have any clue about that in the beginning. I do have from HR perspective, but not from business perspective.
Yeah.
But you give me that clarity to path to continue on my own now. So thank you so
That was
much
the
for
goal. Yeah, that was the goal.
that.
If we can work together to at least, I think it's better than doing it on our own, right? So
Yeah, it's much
I'm
better.
glad it helped.
When we share some opinion when we are stuck
Yeah.
sometimes. Right now, I'm doing right now CRPD level 5, and I'm also CRPD level 5 in
Ah,
human
yeah.
resources.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm
Human HR.
having a test also right now, and I'm stuck in some questions. So,
Ah, yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
it's much better when you're talking with somebody. It's much clearer.
Exactly. Yeah. Are there any parts that you maybe want to review, or is this at all useful to you? When actually, this is not the file I wanted to
It's
show.
much better for me.
Sorry.
This one is much better for me. What you did.
Yeah. Oh, okay, okay. So wait, give me 1 second. This is not the one. Yeah, there's the strategic management study guide. The guide. Yeah. Uh, this one.
So
Yeah. So it has all of the sessions. Sorry, all of the units. Plus, you know what? There's also this. for Unit 4.
Which one?
You know there's the YouTube channel, the like official YouTube channel
Yes.
from Sailor Academy,
Yeah.
and there's a lady, I forget her name, but she also has the presentations, right? And
I don't
she
know.
actually does it even better than me. You don't know the YouTube channel?
I know the YouTube channel, but I know only the YouTube channel what you were presenting it.
Oh, okay. I put it in the Discord under strategic management.
I'm seeing our videos only there. I didn't see any other videos.
Under strategic management general. I'll just tag you on here at Peter.
Okay, so that lady, she's also doing the video like you are doing. Yeah?
So yeah, this is the official one from Sailor Academy, and I put the link to actually the playlist. So all of the units are in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not base my PowerPoints from her lessons, but I used that to get an understanding. Actually, that's what I started with before reading all the units, lessons, and everything. And then for me, she did a great job introducing it for me, but I still wanted more to understand more, and so that's why I started my own thing as well. But she goes, unit one. Actually, she makes 2 videos per unit, and it's about 1 hour or 45 minutes. So for unit one and everything, and all the slides are supposed to be, slide deck are in here, and what she does. So she explains it in here. And so I just looked at what she did for unit 5. It's similar to what I did, but there's a bit of so she talks about culture and strategy, and I think we did talk about that earlier.
Yeah, we
I was
did.
saying strategy, no, culture eats strategy for breakfast, because it's very important, especially when you're going international. If you're gonna expand into a new country, you have to take into account what the country's new culture is, right? The Japanese culture is not the same as the American culture, for sure. I'm sure the Serbian culture.
Does they thinking about the country culture or company culture?
It's always company culture, because we're talking business, right? So
yes,
same.
because company culture should be different. It should be following the business strategy.
Yes,
right?
but for example,
no matter
when
which
you
division, if your division is, for example, in Japan or what, you should follow up your company culture.
Yes, correct. Correct. What I'm trying to say is, when you're expanding, when you're doing international growth, right? You want to look at the the company culture in that other country. It's kind of related to also the country's culture. But you're right. It's to be even more specific.
I know. I know what I'm talking about. When I have to multiply division.
Yeah.
And you have to adapt your culture in every division.
Yeah. And so we talked about X, Y, and then the Uchi's Z theory. So yeah, stable employment, high productivity, high morale, theory Z, and impact on culture. So in the video, she talks about this being like super overachievers and everything. Watch it. And then she has questions.
I go to use this test. And sorry for interrupting you now.
Yeah.
Just for the test, when we now take this test, what does it mean? Is that pre-MBA, or this test is gonna give us chance, if we pass, to go on MBA, continue MBA. If we are not passing, then we are not gonna be able to do.
Yeah.
Right?
So I believe you have 2 tries, 2 or 3 tries. I have to double check on that. But it's the entrance exam. Once you once you pass it, I believe you have 5 years to finish all the courses. So your time
courses.
Yeah, the clock starts officially. So you can take all your time for the pre-MBA, but once the MBA you're in, you have 5 years. You got to finish it in 5 years.
Maybe what type of test is it? It's like what we are having on courses. Because I did HR course in the Sailor Academy. I don't know if you did any course.
No, I did not. Sailor. No, it's
what's degrees? Sailor Academy you have, and you can have a particular. You can choose from management, marketing. He has these courses on
I
his
did not. What's the
academy.
website? Is it Degrees?
No, it's just sailor.org, and then you can have academy, and another one is MBA. So the first is academy.
I just know it's a 2-hour exam. Wait, MBA program.
This exam, what we're gonna have right now, what's gonna be? It's like a bit just question, or we're gonna
Yeah.
have to create something like slides, presentation.
No, it's a multiple choice, 2-hour exam. Let me just show you where I saw it.
Mhm.
I hope this is the right website.
Did you do any of these courses? What he had uh,
Where?
on his website, apart of MBA? Did you do anything else like management, marketing?
These?
I'm not talking about MBA. You know what, he has also courses on another web page. This is this. What is this? I can.
Sailor.org, yeah. And then,
And then this is MBA, but also he has when you are not going on MBA,
yeah.
you have uh,
Oh, just the main, like the main core. Okay, okay, okay. I see what you mean. No, I
did you do any of
enrolled
these
in
courses? Did you enroll in any of this? Yeah?
political science, but I didn't.
Did you do any test there?
No,
No, you
this
did
would
not.
be my first
Oh, you
test. Yeah.
don't. Okay, so you don't know how the test looks. The test was I actually did. I finished HR and I get my diploma there.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Tell me. Yeah, tell us.
The test is gonna be like a couple of questions, and then you need to really, the final test is really like you have 2 hours to finish,
Okay.
and then you have everything from that course in that kind of
Yeah.
the final test. And
And it's all multiple choice.
yeah, and it's randomly. It's not like going 1, 2, 3. It's randomly. And
Yeah.
it's also multiple choice. You can choose A, B, C, whatever you want on the question.
And there's nothing you type, no like
No,
paragraphs that you have to write.
there's nothing to type. There's
Oh,
nothing to type, but you have a lot of questions. You have only 2 hours to answer on that.
Yeah.
And it's really a lot. I think 60 or 75 questions, something like that. And
Okay.
some of them are tricky, so
Yeah.
you need to be careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Okay.
if you are not past the final one, then you will have like 7 times or 3 times to do it.
Okay.
And between that is going to be 7-day gap when you can do another one exam.
Yeah. 7-day gap. Yeah. 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 Okay.
Is that the same like this right now in that?
For this one, let me just share. So you can do the practice exam, which is probably what I'll be doing. So this is the practice. It's not like the real exam. And these are all the details, right? So you have to get 80% or higher to pass. It takes 2 hours. To be honest, I only did the quiz. Wait, where is it? Yeah, I only did the quiz on Unit 1. But based on how the quiz on Unit 1 looked like, that's how I used the quiz questions for all the, actually the 3 units we did. So yeah, and then this, I didn't start. Where was? No, I didn't. I didn't do any of the quizzes. I didn't do the 2-hour quiz, but this is what I'll do. Probably, actually, maybe tomorrow I will start this one because 7 days. Yeah, if I fail this one,
No, but you have only 2 hours. You cannot. You have to finish it.
yeah. So I don't know if I'll do it today because I feel like I covered everything, and then I want to see what I'm missing, what I'm lacking. So I'll do.
That's why I want to go again to book her video, what she did, and
Yeah.
I will go again to everything because I'm making these dots, in Obsidian.
Yeah, connect the dots. Yeah.
and I'm doing this one, so I want to take again at that one before I going on the last exam, because I want really to know everything and to be clear to me. Especially the
100.
last one, what you said to me, this lean and product. This one I wanna go deeply in that because I didn't go at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%. I think it's important. Also, these ones, the old way versus the new way. Which one? This one. The Hitchin Oshin and the
Yes,
mercantilism.
yes, that one is very interesting for me.
Yeah. The thing is, like it's a big task to. Okay, so these are so just the review lessons. Okay, total 21 pages, and then the study guide total is what? 13 pages. 13 pages. Wow. Uh, I think it's more. I certainly think it's more. Yeah. So that's like unit one. Okay. So 13 and 21 pages. I'm pretty sure is more. Maybe I'm not counting properly. Yeah. Okay. There we go. So that's the one. So just unit five is 20. What's 21 pages. Unit four is 11 pages. So yeah. Unit three, it's what?
So it's like 100 and something pages.
23. Yeah. It's very it's very big if you want to read everything, but I
No,
did my best to at least take a bit of some to at least give you an introduction so that it's not crazy. But yeah, even if you look at the videos from the YouTube channel, she doesn't cover everything, but she definitely covers all the objectives. Basically, she prepares you for the exam. There's even a review session for the exam uh, here. So the last ones. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a case study and then the final review. So this would be helpful to take a look at. I don't know if you want to do a review on Wednesday. We can do some review questions because there's also the a review on the Sailor Academy website if you want. Okay, so we have about 10 minutes left. Do you want
Okay.
to plan what the Wednesday session will be? Do you think it's needed or we can finish it here?
Wednesday I cannot because I have exam from CAPD
Ah,
on
okay.
Wednesday, so I cannot definitely I cannot do anything on Wednesday because I have to be concentrated on that.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. So we can cancel Wednesday. I mean, this is done.
Yes,
Do you want to meet one last time next week then or
yes. Can we meet again in Saturday or Sunday,
yeah,
wherever it's working for you?
yeah, so we can have so we have 7 days basically. Today we can try to do the practice test
Yeah.
today and then we'll have 7 days before we can take it again. So that'll be perfect timing.
So let's do like this. Let's take the practice test, me and you, wherever you have a time, but before our meeting the next time and then just evaluate what you have. Do you
Exactly,
have
yeah.
do you have anything else in plan, maybe?
Today?
No, for that next week
No, no,
meeting.
no. No, next week. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. So like I said, I was going to take either today or tomorrow
Okay,
this practice test. So actually, I will take it today. Um,
the practice.
depending on, yeah, just this one, right? The practice, and then we can discuss about it, and then I'll have 7 days to to know where I need to
Okay,
focus on.
cool. I get you.
Yeah. So let's do that.
Okay.
Let's take the test either today or tomorrow, and then next week we discuss about our tests, and maybe we can share how we can better, and then take the exam
What we
next.
did and how are we gonna make? Okay, cool. I get it. We make a plan.
Awesome.
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
Well, it was a real pleasure, Peter. I wish you all the best. Have a great evening, and talk to you next week.
Okay,
Good
you
luck. Good luck on
have
your
a
exam too.
have a pleasant day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.